Something is going very wrong behind the gates of Montecito, and no one is talking about it. While King Charles III is being celebrated in Washington, a completely different story is quietly falling apart across the country. So what's really happening out of sight, and why now? The fairy tale image is gone. What's left is a controlled unraveling no PR strategy can contain. Inside the estate, Meghan Markle is reportedly isolated. Lights on for days, no movement, no response. Then, in the early hours, a message arrives. Cold, final. Strategy rejected, risk unavoidable. And one phrase changes everything. The Trevor Files. What's inside them, and why can't anyone contain what's coming? The silence inside the house is heavy. One insider describes her staring into the glass, asking a question with no answer. How did the king make me invisible? Invisible or pushed out? And if this is only the beginning, what happens when the full story surfaces? Meanwhile, the contrast is brutal. In DC, power, ceremony, control. In California, distance. Once close allies like Oprah Winfrey and Serena Williams, now silent. Messages seen, not answered. Invitations ignored. When did support disappear, and why all at once? Then comes the moment that changes everything. A call goes out. 40 minutes, nothing. And finally, they aren't coming back, are they? No reply, just silence. And in that world, silence is never random. It's a message. But what message is being sent? For years, the narrative was control, cutting ties, rewriting the story, staying ahead. But now, the story is moving without her. And at the center of it, Trevor Engelson. No longer a memory, a variable no one can control. Because if those files are real, and if they're about to surface, then this isn't just a setback. It's the beginning of something much bigger. So the real question is, what's inside the Trevor Files, and who's about to reveal them? She's still in that beige room, papers scattered, drafts rejected, while King Charles III dines under chandeliers with global power watching. Two worlds moving at once, one rising, one unraveling. The plan was dominance, influence, a new crown across the ocean. But now, a silent phone, a locked-in reality. So what changed overnight? And why does it feel like the walls are closing in? Inside Montecito, Meghan Markle isn't managing a brand anymore. She's reacting to something far more dangerous.
Reports point to files from her Toronto years. Files that were never meant to resurface. Emails from 2013, believed gone forever, now circling back. Who kept them, and why now? Because this isn't just about reputation. It's about a single oversight hiding in plain sight. In high-stakes circles, silence is bought, locked down, enforced. NDAs are the shield. Every staffer, every insider, covered. But there's one name that slipped through untouched, Trevor Engelson. And that gap, it's no longer small. It's a wide-open door. Think back to 2013. No global spotlight, no royal stakes, just a standard divorce in Los Angeles. Assets split, lives separated, nothing more. No lifelong silence, no anticipation of what she would become. And that's where everything shifted. Because what seemed routine back then now looks like a critical miscalculation. Step by step, that decision has aged into something far more serious. A legal blind spot that has matured quietly until now. And if those emails are real, if they reveal what insiders are hinting at, then this isn't just about the past catching up. It's about a past that was never fully closed. So the question is, what exactly was said in 2013, and why does it suddenly matter more than ever? She was wrong, and that mistake is echoing louder than ever. In 2018, as Meghan Markle stepped into St. George's Chapel, a new layer of protection snapped into place. NDAs everywhere, silence locked down, control secured. But there was one problem no one could fix, one person outside the system. How do you silence a past that never signed the agreement? That's the wall. You can't rewrite a contract that never existed. And Trevor Engelson reportedly refused every attempt to change that. No payout, no deal, just distance and dignity. For years, he stayed quiet, a shadow holding the original version of the story while a new one took center stage. But now, that silence has reached its limit. Early 2026, Step 3. The expiration no one prepared for. Insiders say a major publishing deal is on the table, not for drama, but for correction, a version of events that was never meant to resurface. Because in Hollywood, the most powerful stories aren't created, they're uncovered. So what exactly has been buried all this time? Behind closed doors, even elite legal teams are scrambling. A late-night audit of old filings leads to one brutal conclusion. There's no legal way to stop him. Nothing. No barrier, no restriction. He can speak freely about everything before 2016. Every moment, every message, every detail. And if that's true, then what's about to come out? Because this isn't just memory, it's evidence. Digital trails, emails, fragments of a transformation in motion. So why wait over a decade? Why now when everything else seems to be slipping? Timing like this isn't random, it's strategic. As the sun sets over California, this isn't just a public image battle anymore. It's something deeper, a collision between two timelines, one carefully built, the other quietly preserved. And insiders hint at one chapter that stands above the rest. Not ambition, not fame, but a timeline that doesn't match what the world believes. If that chapter is real, then everything changes. So what really happened back then, and why is it about to be revealed now? October 2011, sun, sand, and a wedding that looked like a dream. But beneath the celebration, something else was forming. When Meghan Markle tied her future to Trevor Engelson, it wasn't just romance, it was access. His network opened doors she couldn't reach alone. Power players, industry circles, a fast track past the usual barriers. But was this partnership ever just about love? Or was it the first move in a much bigger plan?
Then, August 2013, everything shifts. No warning, no conversation. A FedEx package lands in Los Angeles. Inside, rings. No explanation, just silence. A clean exit or a calculated one? Because that moment didn't end the story, it transformed it. Trevor didn't react publicly. He adapted privately. Emails saved, messages archived. A quiet collection of receipts. Why would someone hold on to everything unless they knew it might matter later? Fast forward to 2016, London. The world hears about a chance meeting, a spark, a fairy tale beginning. But whispers from earlier years suggest something more deliberate, a vision forming long before the public ever saw it. And at the center of that vision, Prince Harry. Coincidence or timing perfected? Because what followed wasn't just a relationship, it was a platform. Global, untouchable, impossible to ignore. But even the most precise plans have flaws. January 2026, a new venture launches, meant to redefine everything. Instead, it triggers a legal storm overseas. A small town in Spain, Porreres, flags the brand for copying its historic symbol. Suddenly, expansion freezes, questions rise, and cracks begin to show. How does something that big slip through unnoticed? Now it's May 1st, 2026. While King Charles III moves through high-profile meetings in the US, the distance feels louder than ever. No acknowledgement, no connection. And without that royal link, what's left holding the image together? Because this timeline tells a different story, one of careful moves, and one person watching it all unfold from the beginning. Trevor didn't disappear, he waited. And now, with years of records behind him, the focus isn't just on what's happening today, but on a missing gap. 3 years. From that FedEx package to that first London meeting. What really happened during that window? Because if the timestamps reveal something unexpected, then this isn't just about strategy anymore. It's about truth catching up. And the biggest question now is, what exactly is hidden in that gap? And why is it about to surface? For years, it was just whispers. Easy to dismiss, easy to ignore. But now, those whispers are colliding with something far harder to silence. Records. And at the center of it all is Trevor Engelson, not just a figure from the past, but a potential witness to moments never meant to resurface. So what exactly did he keep, and why does it matter now? Investigators point back to 2011, before the wedding, before the spotlight fully formed around Meghan Markle. Reports describe a private agreement, framed not around emotion, but structure. A document that allegedly outlined expectations around lifestyle, image, and control. If true, it suggests something deeper than planning. It hints at a mindset focused on precision. But how far did that thinking really go? Because that document may only be the beginning. Sources claim that early 2026 investigations revisited medical and clinic records tied to the Toronto years, cross-checking timelines, verifying details, looking for patterns. And somewhere in that process, a new layer of concern begins to surface.
What happens when past records don't fully align with the story the world believes? Now the stakes shift. This isn't about headlines anymore. It's about verification, about whether timelines match, whether details hold, whether everything fits the way it's been presented. And if even one piece doesn't, what follows next? Because systems built on protocol don't respond to speculation, they respond to evidence. And if documentation raises questions, those questions don't stay private for long. They move upward, outward, into spaces where narratives are tested, not managed. Back in Montecito, the pressure isn't just public, it's internal. Because ignoring rumors is one thing, facing documented timestamps is something else entirely. And the deeper this goes, the harder it becomes to contain. So why hold on to these records for over a decade? Protection or timing? Now, as everything converges, the story isn't just about what happened, it's about what can be proven. And if proof begins to surface, then the narrative the world accepted for years may be forced into a very different light. So the question is, are these just fragments of a complicated past, or the beginning of a truth no one is ready to confront? The truth isn't just sitting in old emails anymore. It's buried deeper, in records no one expected to resurface. And if those records are real, then every moment King Charles III spends in Washington feels like a countdown. Because back in Montecito, something is cracking, and it's getting louder by the second. What exactly was documented all those years ago, and why is it becoming impossible to ignore now?
Behind the gates, the image of control is slipping. Meghan Markle isn't managing headlines anymore. She's facing a system under pressure. This isn't rumor, it's structure breaking down. And the clearest sign? The people leaving. One by one, key figures, PR experts, legal strategists, insiders have stepped away. 18 exits over time, but it's the latest one that changed everything. Why would a top communications director walk out overnight? April 28, 2026. No warning. Desk cleared. Immediate resignation. And the trigger? A confrontation over the As Ever brand, specifically a logo already under scrutiny. Warnings had been raised for weeks, pointing to serious legal risks tied to a small Spanish town, Porreras. But instead of caution, insiders described something else entirely: resistance, a refusal to see it as a mistake. So what happens when warnings are ignored at the highest level? Because inside, the atmosphere is shifting. Staff describe tensions so intense that disagreement isn't just unwelcome, it's risky. Every critique seen as opposition, every concern treated like betrayal. And when an organization starts reacting like that, how long before it turns on itself? Then comes the moment that changed the tone completely. News breaks of a major deal tied to Trevor Ingleson, a project rumored to reveal everything. And suddenly, the house feels different, heavier, unstable. Even specific spaces inside the estate are being talked about differently now, including one room that insiders won't forget. Because if that deal moves forward, and if those records finally come into the light, then this isn't just pressure anymore, it's impact. So the question is, what happens inside those walls when the past refuses to stay silent? On the outside, calm, perfect lawns, silent gates. But inside that mansion, something cracked. Behind soundproof walls, staff say they heard it, muffled, raw, impossible to ignore. Not chaos, something deeper. A moment where control slipped. And in that instant, Meghan Markle realized something chilling. One piece of her past was no longer hers to manage. So what happens when the one story you can't control starts writing itself? Because this wasn't just pressure, it was absence. No plan, no response. The person who once shaped every headline now caught inside one, and the harder she tried to steer it, the faster it fractured. While attention stayed on King Charles III across the ocean, the real storm wasn't out there. It was already inside, quiet, documented, waiting. Now the brand sits frozen, the team reduced, the energy drained. What used to feel like strategy now feels like survival. And the silence? It's worse than the noise. Because silence means something is coming. But what? All roads lead back to one name, Trevor Ingleson. And now 3 possible paths are forming, each more intense than the last. The first, a full reveal, a project that pulls everything into the light. If that happens, the impact won't just stay personal. It could ripple outward, forcing responses no one can avoid. But how far would that reach? The second path is confrontation, a legal battle, massive and public. But here's the catch. Once that door opens, Everything comes with it. Emails, messages, decisions from years back. Nothing stays hidden in a process like that. So would fighting back actually make things worse? And then there's the third path, the quiet one, the slow fade. Financial pressure builds, projects stall, and whispers begin that Prince Harry may be considering a different direction entirely. Not loud, not dramatic, just gone. But if that happens, what does it leave behind? Because as this day closes, one truth is impossible to ignore. This isn't about if things change, it's about how far they go when they do. So which path becomes reality, and what happens when the past finally takes the lead? Night falls on Montecito, and the silence is louder than ever. Inside that 16-bedroom estate, the lights are still on, but the world outside has moved on. No calls, no buzz, just quiet. And for Meghan Markle, that silence might be the loudest signal yet. What happens when influence fades, but the past doesn't?
Because one piece of evidence changes everything. For years, the story was simple. An outsider, unfamiliar with the royal world, stepping into the unknown. But now, a photo resurfaces. A teenage Meghan standing at the gates of Buckingham Palace. Not just a tourist snapshot, something more focused, more intentional. If that image is real, then when did this story actually begin? Suddenly, the timeline stretches back decades. What looked like coincidence now feels like design. The meeting, the rise, the spotlight, it all starts to look different. And at the center of this shift, Trevor Engelson, holding a digital archive that refuses to disappear. Files kept since 2013, records that were never erased. Why keep them this long unless they were meant to matter one day? Tonight, she isn't building something new. She's watching something old resurface. Because the final secret isn't locked in a palace or hidden behind gates. It's sitting in a folder, waiting. And if that folder opens, the narrative doesn't just change, it resets. This isn't just a story about rise or fall. It's about timing, memory, and the weight of what can't be undone. Because when the past finally steps forward, it doesn't ask permission, it takes control. So now the question isn't what happens next, it's what was true all along.